This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. U.S. death toll rises to 24 with 14 dead in North Carolina, alone after Hurricane Matthew hit the East Coast this weekend. With the presidential election a month away, a new poll shows registered Latinos voters will hold their Democratic views. And Samsung Electronics will no longer produce the Galaxy Note 7 smartphone after phones kept catching on fire.
Hello, this is Matador News, and I'm Lexie Smith.
And I'm Julia Espinoza. 23 people are left dead, with nearly half of them in North Carolina. Hurricane Matthew has caused widespread damages, and after 1 foot of rain fell. Thousands of homes have been damaged, and flooding is still a concern. Authorities continue to help residents evacuate from the record flooding. Eastern towns are likely to experience flooding throughout the week. North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory says emergency crews are hard at work.
We've had more than 2,000 rescues using 79 boat crews, more than 600 rescues, with the majority of rescues were in Robinson and Cumberland County.
Thousands are still left to rescue in North Carolina.
Although Hurricane Matthew is over, the destruction continues to affect Haiti. Hundreds are dead, thousands are displaced, and flooding continues throughout the Caribbean. Nearly 800,000 homes and local businesses lost power. Many finally got power back this morning. Cholera experts say the flooding has created a risk of potential contamination in the drinking water. 10,000 people have died from cholera in Haiti since 2010. 1 million cholera vaccine doses have been sent by the World Health Organization to help prevent waterborne diseases outbreak.
President Obama says he plans to send humans back to Mars. In a piece he wrote for CNN, he sets a clear goal to send humans to Mars and return them safely to Earth by the 2030s. The ultimate goal is to allow an extended stay on the planet. Obama announced that the government will work with commercial partners. They will build new habitats that can support and transport astronauts on their lengthy missions. He believes their missions will teach them to live far from Earth within the next couple years. Astronauts will be able to visit the International Space Station.
Elections are 1 month away, and the Republican Party is still divided. House Speaker Paul Ryan says he will no longer support the Trump campaign. Trump reacted by going on a Twitter rant. He says he received zero support from Ryan, and the Democrats are far more loyal than the Republicans. Many more Republicans began to pull back their support from Trump after a 2005 tape of his lewd and aggressive comments about women leaked. Questions arose when one of Trump's closest advisors, Chris Christie, was not a no-show at his debate on Sunday night. The New Jersey governor says he will not defend the tape, but at this point, he is still supporting the Trump campaign.
A new study from Pew Research Center found that in the Latino vote and views are similar to those in 2012. Here's Matador reporter Josue Bran in the newsroom with more on the story.
The Latino community is growing, and the Latino vote is gaining power. CSUN Chicano study professor Melisa Galvan say important for Latino voters to understand the difference between the two candidates.
The main reason that Latino communities vote for the Democratic Party speaks to the issues that they espouse in the communities. They speak for more working class community members, issues about immigration and other sort of things that the Republican Party, at least in recent years, has sort of forgotten or chooses to target in ways that are contrary to community beliefs.
We asked young students their opinion why Latino tends to vote more for Democrats than Republican. Let's see their reactions.
Personally, I believe that Latinos go more with Democrats, obviously because I feel like although they might be the majority in population whenever it comes to, you know, the corporate world or the political world, they're kind of the minority, along with, you know, black and brown people are kind of in the same boat when it comes to that thing.
I believe that Latinos go more with Democrats because with Democrats there's more like freedom, there's more like voice and into like what they want, what people want.
Well, I think most Latinos probably go for Hillary. They probably go for the Democratic side, most of all because Trump has said a lot of negative things about the community. So I think because of that, probably the Latinos are going to go with the Democrats.
I think it's crazy.
It's really crazy.
It's crazy with the debate going, what was it, 2 days ago? It's crazy to say because first of all, we have a guy who doesn't pay taxes and then expects, he's talking about the Latino community and how they're coming and taking away the resources of the state and the federal government.
This campaign really has been crazy, and the Latino viewers seeing it to see it. Now, let's go back to Lexie in the studios.
A hit-and-run car crash on the 605 freeway in Santa Fe Springs leaves one person dead and 3 others hospitalized. Investigators determined the vehicle was a Nissan Stanza that had been rear-ended by a hit-and-run driver. Investigators later determined 3 different cars hit the victim, and the accident involved a total of 6 vehicles. The driver of the Stanza was pronounced dead at the scene, but has yet to be identified. A signal alert was issued from 4 to 9 in the morning for closure for all southbound lanes. Investigators do not have a description of the hit-and-run driver or the vehicle involved.
A wrong-way driver kills 5 Vermont teenagers in a fiery car crash this weekend. Authorities say he was driving on the wrong side of the Interstate 89 before striking the teen's Volkswagen Jetta. Bystanders try to pull the victims from the collision as the car erupted in flames, littering the highway with debris. While a police officer attempted to help one of the victims, the suspect escaped in the police car. He then crashed into 8 cars and was ejected from the police car. 5 more people sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect is in critical condition and will be arraigned later this week. The governor of Vermont has ordered flags lowered to half staff in memories of the 5 teenagers. Hundreds of people came together to mourn the loss at a candlelight vigil. Now
back to Paulina Negrete with the latest on business.
Samsung has permanently stopped the sales of its Galaxy Note 7 smartphone. Samsung forced to recall 2.5 million Note 7s due to the devices bursting into flames. The South Korean firm attempted to fix the phones by switching the battery and updating the software, but the replacements also caught fire. Many customers are worried if their phone is safe and whether it should be returned. Getting rid of the Note 7 will cost Samsung $9.5 billion in sales and $5.1 billion in profit. Rumor has it, Amazon is opening grocery stores nationwide. The stores will carry a variety of fresh foods such as produce, milk, and meats. Consumers will be able to order food with a long shelf life through an app. The app will allow customers to order their food and pick it up at one of Amazon's open drive-in locations. The groceries will be delivered to the customer's car windows according to license plate reading technology. The first Amazon grocery store is reportedly going to open in Seattle. Oil prices are down by 2% today. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries reported a high record production last month, pulling back prices. Global industry officials say that this could be OPEC's first planned production cut in 8 years based on the agreement with Russia. Goldman Sachs says despite a production cut, markets are likely to rebalance in 2017. CSUN students may have a new place to shop. Matador reporter Alfredo Perez has more with the story.
The new Campus Bookstore is hosting its grand opening event today. The bookstore was formerly known as the Matador Bookstore. Campus Bookstore director Amy Berger says there are a lot new additions to the store.
We've brought in some new products, but we've done a lot of different things in the store. We've opened up the Freudian Sip to be part of the Matador Bookstore, or part of the CSUN Campus Store. We added the Matador shop, an athletic shop with a replica floor that matches the basketball floor in the Matadome. We brought our tech center up front. We're doing repairs of computers now for students, faculty, and staff.
This is the 3rd renovation in 57 years. The new store will offer computer repairs for students and staff. Students will be able to watch live games from the Matadome, and the Freudian Sip is now part of the store. CSUN student Mickey So says she's excited about the new features and changes.
That's what I came here for, because they changed the new brand to Under Armour, so it's pretty cool. I want to see the changes.
Good news for students. Store officials say to expect decrease in book prices due to a bigger inventory. Back to Lucas Talbot with more on health.
The World Health Organization says Zika infections are expected to continue to rise in the Asia-Pacific region. Authorities and health officials are working together to increase surveillance and the detection of Zika. Based on a risk assessment done by WHO, the viral infection will continue to spread. Zika symptoms are mild and no deaths have been reported globally. The Western Pacific region is the second highest Zika-affected region in the world. Back to Paulina Negrete with more on entertainment.
Actress Shailene Woodley has been arrested in North Dakota during a protest against an oil pipeline project. Woodley filmed her arrest on Facebook Live and it spread quickly on social media. She's been protesting with members of the North Dakota Sioux tribe to protest against the Energy Transfer's partner's $4 billion pipeline plan. Animosity towards police protecting the construction site was elevated during the protest. North Dakota Highway Patrolman Tom Iverson says people need to be held accountable if they are trespassing.
It appears at this time to be a pretty volatile situation where the protesters are agitated. You know, as I was driving through the area, I was flipped off by a protester just simply driving through. So it's obviously not a peaceful demonstration.
27 people were arrested on charges of criminal trespass and engaging in a riot. Woodley says she's been walking peacefully to her car when police grabbed her by her jacket and placed her in handcuffs. She was taken into custody and posted a $500 bond. Miley Cyrus talks candidly about her sexuality in Variety's October cover issue. The voice coach and pop singer is named one of the magazine's Power Women. Cyrus says she struggled with her sexual identity and has had at least one female relationship. Cyrus now identifies as pansexual, saying she never related to being a girl or a boy. She now heavily involves herself with activism within the LGBTQ community, saying its members helped her in her struggles in understanding her identity. Entertainment news host Nancy O'Dell responds to the crude comments made about her by Donald Trump in 2005. Trump has dismissed his remarks to then Access Hollywood host Billy Bush as locker room talk. O'Dell says it's her job as a journalist to bring news to viewers rather than turning the focus on herself.
There is no room for objectification of women or anyone for that matter, not even in the locker room.
O'Dell is an Emmy Award-winning journalist and is currently a co-anchor on Entertainment Tonight. Now let's go back to Lucas Talbot with more on sports.
Monday night was the end of an era for David Ortiz. Ortiz, also known to Boston fans as Big Papi, retired after the Cleveland Indians swept the Boston Red Sox in the American League Division Series. He left in the 8th inning to a standing ovation after being pulled for a pinch runner. Ortiz came back out after the game to say one more goodbye to the fans. Ortiz played in Boston for 14 years. During that time, he helped lead the Red Sox to 3 World Series, including the one that broke the 86 years curse, also known as the Curse of the Bambino, back in 2004. The Los Angeles Dodgers are facing elimination in Game 4 of the National League Division Series against the Washington Nationals. The boys in blue will send Game 1 starter Clayton Kershaw to the mound today. The Nationals will counter with Joe Ross. If the Dodgers win today, the series will move over to Washington, D.C. for Game 5 on Thursday. Now back to Lexie Smith with more.
This contentious campaign has given us a hero in a red sweater. Ken Bone has become an internet sensation after asking a question at the second presidential debate.
I had a really nice olive suit that I love a great deal, and my mother would have been very proud to see me wearing on television. But apparently I've gained about 30 pounds, and when I went to get in my car the morning of the debate, I split the seat of my pants all the way open. So the red sweater is plan B. I'm glad it worked out.
He was also caught snapping some pictures after the debate with his disposable camera. His Twitter following has jumped from 7 to hundreds. The red sweater continues to make appearances on news stations across the country and is predicted to be this Halloween's hottest costume.
Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Julia Espinoza.
I'm Lexie Smith.
I'm Paulina Negrete.
And Lucas Talbot.